The shotgun barrel gleamed under the dawn light, aimed square at her chest. My wife, Sarah, didn't even blink. She tilted her head, flashed a faint smile, and said, "Sir, do you know what a safety check is?" The HOA guard, a sweaty lump named Travis, froze, his finger twitching near the trigger. He didn't know until she moved. In less than 5 seconds. She'd stripped the weapon from his hands, ejected the shells with a clatter, and handed it back like it was a lukewarm latte. She decided not to drink. Travis's jaw dropped. But what really shattered him was the cameras, 3 of them. HOA security, her phone, her dash cam, caught every second of his humiliation in crisp, undeniable detail. You could almost hear the world gasp. How do you even pull that off legally? And more unsettling, how does she stay so calm when a gun's in her face? Travis, the puffed-up gatekeeper of Pinewood Estates, didn't get it. People like him, power-drunk nobodies with badges, think danger screams with tattoos and biceps. They don't see the real threat in a 5'7" woman with a lean frame, a quiet smile, and eyes that say, "I've already played this out 10 ways, and you're toastin' everyone." He never stood a chance, neither did the HOA. Once Sarah was through with them, let me rewind. 6 months ago, we moved into Pinewood Estates, a gated haven of manicured lawns and mandatory bird feeders, the kind of place where the HOA newsletter uses serif fonts like they're handing down commandments. We chose it for the calm, good neighbors, solid resale value, a chance for Sarah to finally unwind after years of overseas deployments. She'd been special forces running ops that left her with scars snaking across her body, and a mind-journeyed story with correct punctuation and without heading. Wired to spot threats before they even twitched me. I'm Jake, a cybersecurity guy, paranoid, caffeine-fueled, and allergic to petty drama. Or so I thought. Pinewood's HOA wasn't just an association, it was a dictatorship with grass height rulers and a god complex. Leading the charge was Victor Miles, HOA president, a former mall cop turned self-righteous overlord. Picture a spreadsheet with legs and ego bloated from too many rejected reality TV auditions and a vendetta against crooked trash bins. That's Victor. His pet enforcer, Travis, a security guard whose badge outshone his brain by a mile. Their gate system was a nightmare. Guests needed 72-hour pre-approval. Delivery drivers got bounced like club rejects if they weren't on the sacred whitelist. Even residents got grilled if their HOA-issued windshield tag wasn't glued exactly 2 in from the top right corner, 1 inch off, and you'd find a warning letter in your mailbox. It was suffocating, but we dealt with it until the night Sarah forgot her pass. She'd been at the hospital with her dad, heart trouble. Messy story. Driving back at 6:43 a.m. exhausted in her gym gear, just wanting her bed. Travis, buzzing with the zeal of a guy who flunked his cop exam, decided she was a trespasser. He could have checked her ID, matched it to our address in 10 seconds flat. Instead, he saw a tired woman who didn't gravel and made it his Alamo. "You can't enter, ma'am." He barked, chest puffed. She asked him to run her name. He refused. She called me on speaker. I vouched for her. "Still know you're trying to scam me," he sneered. "Rules aren't optional for you people." Then he grabbed the shotgun. "Don't panic." He didn't shoot, but he aimed it, finger hovering at a decorated combat vet on her own street, all because she was female, worn out, and didn't bow fast enough. Sarah didn't flinch. She stepped out, hands up, voice steady as steel, and in a blink that gun was hers, unloaded, resting on the curb like a discarded toy. The footage was gold, triple-angle proof of her dismantling his ego. Without breaking a sweat, Travis didn't even clock the cameras until sirens wailed, 4 cop cars screeched, and lights blazing. He ranted about veteran psychosis and combat meltdowns, painting her as unhinged. The cops journeyed a story with correct punctuation and without heading. Split them up. Sarah handed over her IDs, permits, and a razor-sharp rundown of her legal right to neutralize an unlicensed threat on her property. One look at the video, and the officer's scowl shifted. A sergeant nodded. "Ma'am, you're clear." Travis, no cuffs, yet that stung. The HOA doubled down. A letter arrived the next day. Sarah's gate access suspended pending review. A man aimed a shotgun at her. She disarmed him without a scratch, and she got punished. Victor called an emergency meeting, didn't even invite us properly. A neighbor tipped us off, laughing like it was absurd. Victor dubbed it a dangerous escalation by a volatile resident, hinting her gate rights might be axed permanently. Sarah chuckled, foolin' belly laugh. "Gate privileges. What's next? They repo my mailbox." I wasn't laughing. I knew what came next. When you cornered someone like her, you don't humiliate Sarah and expect her to shrug, and Victor didn't know I'd been trained in my own kind of warfare, not loud, but lethal in its precision. I thrive on data documentation, the slow burn that flips the board when you least expect it. But before I could strike the county, did a certified letter landed, not for us, for the HOA board. Subject: Investigation into illegal security ops and firearm violations. Victor didn't blink. Men like him don't retreat, they dig, and fueled by delusion and a bet that everyone else will fold, he called a hearing a kangaroo court in the HOA clubhouse to decide if Sarah should lose gate access forever and pay a fine. For disturbing the peace, the invite came on the thick cream paper with gold lettering like we were RSVPing to a gala. Emergency intervention and community standards review. Fancy words for rules they'd scribbled on a napkin the night before we walked in at 7:00 p.m. Business casual, as ordered, into a room reeking of stale coffee and sanctimony. Residents clutched HOA rule books like Bibles. The board perched behind a flimsy table like petty dictators. Victor, red-faced and rooster-proud, kicked off with a sermon on safety and turbulent times, rewriting the incident to skip the shotgun entirely. Travis, he claimed, was conducting protocol. When Sarah attacked, gasps rippled. I offered the video, 3 angles, crystal clear. Victor waved it off. They'd reviewed it privately and called it inconclusive. This wasn't about truth. It was about control. I cited law's use of force, Travis's lack of license, HOA overreach. They didn't care. The verdict: Sarah banned from the gate. Legal threats if she journate a story with correct punctuation and without heading. Defied it. On the drive home, she stared out the window, plotting. I stewed, cold fury brewing. They declared war with paper and ego. My turn. I dove into research, state statutes, HOA filings, tax records. Cracks appeared fast. Travis had no security license. Period. The HOA had bought 2 shotguns via secret vote. No resident notice. Illegal as hell. I filed complaints with the county, the state housing board, and security regulators. Then I tipped a news outlet with the video. Veteran disarms armed guard, gets banned. Meanwhile, Sarah jogged past the gate daily in a shirt that screamed, "Freedom isn't gated." Optics, on point. Travis vanished, replaced by a terrified teenage guard. Neighbors whispered. One, Mr. Khan, said, "My son's in the army. This is wrong." The tide was turning. Then a black SUV rolled up. County officials. Badges out. Not for my complaints, but others. Fund misuse. Illegal weapons. Even embezzlement tied to shady contracts. Sarah grinned at a name on the report. My old squad mate. 2 blocks over. She hated Victor too. Reinforcements. The video hit 50,000 views online, shared by veterans and HOA haters. A news station called. We gave a statement. No cameras, just facts. Travis's illegality and Victor's power trip. The HOA flailed, suspending Travis quietly. No apology. Victor patrolled the neighborhood, scribbling fake violations, leaving us a note about Sarah's distressing jog attire. I nearly framed it. My next move? Public records showed unapproved vendor deals, like a landscaping contract to Victor's cousin at double the rate and shotgun purchases masked as garden tools. I sent it all to the county. They replied, "Audit incoming." Residents, emboldened, piled on complaints. Victor's board cracked. Brent, a timid member, emailed us, admitting he'd been pressured to ban Sarah. A couple down the street pledged to reform the HOA. We stayed calm. No fanfare. But we built a dossier: violations, statements, a petition with 50+ signatures to dissolve the charter. The county prosecutor's letter hit like a bomb. Official probe into funds, security, and fraud. All HOA enforcement froze. Victor's email ranted about slanderous actors. But no one bought it. During the next HOA meeting, county officials barged in. The treasurer, Ellen, left with a box of files, then her resignation. Word spread fast. Kids on bikes yelled about some lady getting fired. Neighbors brought us beers and pie. The final blow came at a county hearing. Sarah, sharp in a blazer, testified. The footage played. Silence filled the room. Victor floundered as officials grilled him on unreported weapons. The verdict: the HOA charter under review. Board ousted. Sarah reinstated. With an apology. Outside, neighbors clapped. Quiet. Real. Sarah smirked. I want a barbecue. 2 days later, our yard buzzed with grills, kids, and sparklers. Peace settled in, hard won. A new board rose. Shotguns gone. Victor slunk off with a vague health note we framed in the garage. A month later, the sheriff honored Sarah's cool head, offering her a tactical job. She declined. I've already crushed the deadliest unit I'll ever face. No more clipboards. Just a street where people wave again. Driving through the gate now, I grin. There's a scorch mark in the bushes. A reminder. Don't aim at a soldier and expect to win. Not here. Not ever. Thank you for watching this powerful story of resilience and justice. If it moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.